Howdy everyone, it's your buddy BP. It is February 12th, 2016, and it is Zor Day, and as you can tell, that guy is trying to look down there to see if the little symbol is there, and as you can tell, it is. Hard to see because of all the roses and stuff. I hope y'all been enjoying Crimson Doubles. A little hard to get excited for Zor because I kind of already have everything that he offers now as far as exotics are concerned. But what I am excited about is the new news coming out of Bungie about the future of Destiny. They've announced some new content, some big deal new content. I'm not going to mention that now. I'm going to talk about that at the end of the video. Right now, I'm just going to go and look for Zor and see what he has. And here he is in the hangar, just right around the corner. So yeah, let's go ahead and dig in and see what he has for us this morning.
He's in a walk. The Nine wish to speak to you.
Titans this week will get the Peregrine Greaves. They have an intellect and strength build with machine gun loader, shotgun loader, and arc double down. Its special ability is Peregrine Strike. Shoulder charge deals bonus damage when activated in the air. It's something like just over triple damage. The thing about shoulder charge is that it's really deadly in PvP, but in PvE on its own it does very little damage. Using it this way, you actually can realistically use it. In fact, if you have something like Arc Burn on, you can use it to deal a ton of damage. Of course, you have to get near an enemy, so you got to be careful around bosses. This thing is really fun to use in PvE. In PvP, I wouldn't really recommend it. The only place in PvP I would recommend it is maybe like Mayhem, where you're likely to encounter a lot of enemies that have active supers. So you can use this to actually kill an Arc Blader or a Sunbreaker right out of their super. Granted that you activate your shoulder charge midair, and you can get close enough to them to activate it. PvE is where it's at naturally, and this thing is pretty fun to use, but it's really about that. As far as utility goes, you'll be better off with like something like Armamentarium than you would with this, but it's still a really fun exotic armor to use for a PvE activity. So if you don't have it and you like using Striker in PvE, you'll probably get some mileage out of this, but everyone else can skip it. Hunters this week will get the Celestial Nighthawk. It has an intellect and discipline build, which I like. It also has heavy lifting, ashes to assets, and better already, which I really like. I think that's a fairly good one to use. Starts a shield recovery after orb pickup. Its special ability is Big Game. Golden Gun fires one shot, delivering ×6 damage, while granting Keyhole for over-penetration. I really love this for PvE. I really do enjoy using Gunslinger for PvE. I'm kind of coming around to Night Stalker now that I've finally gotten used to how to use Shade Step. But that's more of a PvP ability. In PvE, I would much rather use my Gunslinger. I really like Golden Gun. I think it's a useful ability. And for PvE, this supplements Golden Gun wonderfully. It turns you into a boss breaker. It's almost like every time you activate Golden Gun, it's like you get a mini sleeper simulant. It deals that much damage. It's pretty crazy. And if there's Solar Burn active, forget about it. I mean, you can just absolutely destroy bosses. So and of course it gives you Keyhole, so it'll over-penetrate enemies. So you can get so if you're lucky, you can like line up your tier 2 bosses, or rather just your normal tier 2 enemies, and go to town with it. It's pretty fun to use, very powerful. In PvP, it has absolutely no utility. There's no reason at all you should be using it in PvP. I like the aesthetics of it. When you aim down the sights of your weapon, the little eyes glow too. That's pretty cool. So for PvE gunslingers, most definitely get this if you don't have it already. Just do note it is pretty much useless in PvP. Warlocks this week will get the Obsidian Mind, and it has an exclusive intellect build with a little bit of strength. That is also a really nice build. It comes with Second Thoughts, Hands-On, and Innervation. Its special ability is Insatiable. Nova Bomb kills reduce the cooldown of your next Nova Bomb. I was actually messing around with this earlier tonight. I was using it while I was doing some Glimmer farming, because, you know, I got to get my Glimmer up so I can buy those Arms Day packages. They're not cheap. So I'm doing some Glimmer farming, and this is really fun to use for doing Glimmer farming, especially if you're running something like, say, Bad Juju, which you can use to get your super meter up really fast. The way it works is that it gives you super meter energy based on how many enemies you kill rather than how tough they are. So it doesn't matter if they're tier 2 or tier 1. The more enemies you kill, the more super you get back. So it's really good against like tier 2 mobs, or rather, excuse me, tier 1 mobs of Thrall. You can just kill like 8 of them at once and you can get like most of your super meter back. It's that effective. So if you just use it for like to take out 1 or 2 tier 2 enemies, you're just going to get a little bit of super back, but you will notice it, and that'll help it go a lot quicker. And because it's an exclusive intellect, you can really spec this thing out to get your super meter back on its own. So it's really good for PvE. It's kind of like the Warlock, or at least the Voidwalker's version of that Celestial Nighthawk. It's really good for PvE. Pretty much useless for PvP. I mean, you'll definitely get some super meter back, but you'll be better off with something else like, say, Void Fang Vestments. So, yep, for PvP Voidwalkers, skip it, but for PvE Voidwalkers, definitely grab this. We don't get a weapon this week, but we do get an engram for gauntlets. So if you don't have like your Ruin Wings or your Nothing Manacles, 19 strange coins apiece. This is your chance to get one. And we also have legacy engrams for helmets, 29 coins apiece. So if you don't have like a glass house, you can go ahead and roll these and get one. Of course, you also might get like that ATS-8 arachnid, and that thing is pretty much useless. Glass house is kind of nice though, but whatever you get, it'll only be good for PvP in the Crucible. They'll be useless in PvE because they're year 1, but take notice of that. But for collectors, 29 coins. Also have glass needles, 3 coins, 3 motes, 1 shard. I've been going through so many of these. I keep re-rolling that ATS Tarantula so I can get an exclusive strength build, so I can do a video where I test out how well the exotic perk works. But I've used like 9 or 10 of these things, and I can't get it to land, and it's so annoying. I hate constantly wasting all my materials on getting these, but damn, I want to get that strength build just so I can do that video. It's so annoying. But anyway, moving along, 3 of coins. You get 5 of them for 7 coins. You pop one of these before the end of a boss fight or the end of a PvP match, and there's a random chance for you to get a exotic engram. 1 strange coin will net you 3 heavy ammo synths. Again, skip these. Just go to Varix and the Reef and buy them from him. He's offering them at a much better price. And that was Zor's haul for this week. Not too dreadfully exciting, but like I said, I kind of already have everything that he can sell at this point, so it's hard to get excited about what he has for sale each week. But what I am excited about is the new stuff that we can expect from Bungie. I'll leave a link in the description to the news article. But what they've done is that they've made a big announcement of what their plans are for Destiny for the rest of this year and next year as well. What they've mentioned is that we can expect a big update this spring where they will be upping the light levels. We can expect new gear, new challenges, new PvE activities, all sorts of stuff. They were a little vague on the details, but it's supposed to be in the spring. That means it could be either next month, it could be May. I hope it's not going to take that long, but we can expect something in the spring. I'm just speculating here, but I'm guessing that what it is that they're going to update like the raids and Prison of Elders for year 2. That's what I'm thinking they're going to do, or at least that's what I'm hoping that they're going to do. They really need to do that, but I'm just speculating. That's what I'm thinking they're going to do. Also, I don't think I saw it on the article, but I remember reading it somewhere else. They plan on one more really big DLC expansion sometime later in the fall. They didn't say when, so I'm guessing like around September-ish. But they are going to have one more big DLC pack. No details on what it's going to be, but it is going to be in the fall. And they also announced their intention. We kind of already knew this, but they finally announced it. In 2017, we can expect a full sequel to Destiny. Not sure when. I'm guessing it's going to be early. It's going to be somewhere early 2017, because I know that they were originally shooting for this year, like late this year, probably around the holidays, but there was a lot of rumors going around that they've been pushing the date back. But yep, there is going to be another full game for Destiny coming next year. They officially announced it. So yep, we've there's a light at the end of the tunnel. I know we've all been complaining about content for a while, and it's coming. You know, that new content, it's almost upon us. The details are vague, but you know, Bungie has announced that they have intents to deliver. So I will be eagerly anticipating that. Well, that's the end of the video. What do you think about Zora's Hall this week? And what do you think about the news about our new content that we can expect from Bungie this year and next year as well? Let me know in the comment section. I love hearing back from you. And don't forget to spank that like button if you enjoyed the video or you found it informative. Your support means a lot to me. And as always, y'all be good to each other. And I will see you in the next video.